Hey guys, welcome back to Geared Forwards. My name's Paul, and today we'll be taking a look at my EDC keychain, which, unlike many other parts of my EDC, doesn't actually rotate and change a lot of the time. So, before we jump on into it, let's tackle a bit of an elephant in the room. What is all this red crap on my keychain? That is electrical tape. Why is there electrical tape on my keys? Well, there is the possibility of when you have your personal keys out there on the internet, that somebody could use that picture to recreate a copy. Now, disclaimer, I do not think that for the vast majority of people this is a realistic concern. However, if you're going to be taking a picture of your personal keys and putting them on the internet, or a video in this case, then the due diligence to just completely prevent that kind of thing is so small, I figure why not do it. But that's why there's a little bit of tape on my keys. So, let's address how everything is connected first, and then we'll go through the individual items on it. So I don't use any fancy key organization tool. That wouldn't really be particularly useful for me because I don't have a lot of keys, as you can see. So instead I keep everything together with this little lobster clip. Now some of you might think that this looks familiar, and that would be because it is the lobster clip you get for free with most lumen top flashlights, particularly the smaller ones. I want to say this one in particular came from my EDC 01. It serves my needs perfectly, allows me to take stuff off quickly and easily. And then we have basically mostly just some split rings. This one here is titanium, just because I had a titanium one. Why not? And then you'll see that I actually have things separated differently. So my car key is basically attached to here, so I actually have to use the split ring to remove it. And then most of the things are actually up here so that they can be removed by opening the lobster clip gate. And the reason that I did that is to basically make it more modular so that I can change things out as I need to. If I'm going to be taking a whole bunch of stuff, then I'm going to have my car key. However, I don't always want to take my car key when I'm going out, like on a walk or something, and I just need my keys. So that is why the car key is fixed to this all the time and everything else is modular. So first of all, the keys that I have on here, this is my car key, nothing fancy. I have a flip key but the spring is gone, so this is my spare. And just a house key. I do occasionally have a key for some lock drawers on here. I don't have them currently because I don't go out so much, so I don't really need to lock them that much, to be honest, right now. And then we have essentially 3 tools that I quite like and find quite useful to have. So I'm going to just go ahead and take this stuff apart and lay it out so that you can see it better. And let's start with this. So I have my house key on an individual split ring with this little Olight flashlight for one particular reason, and that's to basically make it a module of its own. If I just want my house key, I'm going to the store or something, I often tend to go to the store really early in the morning or late at night, simply because I have a bit of an unusual schedule and it tends to be quieter then. So I'll often find that I might want just to have a flashlight just guaranteed with me in case I space out or I'm wearing sports shorts or something. So this guarantees that I can always have a flashlight or a torch along with my house key in a very small, easy package. The flashlight itself is the Olight i1R EOS. This is the original, as you can see by its battle scars. And this has been serving me faithfully for, I want to say, at least 4 years. I'm not 100% sure when I got this, but it has been a long time. Still works. Still 2-stage brightness. Now, the original version, if some of you might be familiar with the 2nd generation and later that has come out, that has, been given away many times for free. The main difference really is that this separates into 2 pieces, where you have the micro USB charging port here, and that's basically the major change they made first, was they made this captive. So you might be thinking, hey, you're interested in EDC, why are you still rocking this, old version? And I do have newer versions. Let's just get these out of here for a second. So this is the second generation, and this is the third generation, so the i1R2 and the i1R2 Pro. And the primary reason that I didn't update, even though there are tangible benefits, you can see quite clearly here. Even just going from the 1 to the 2, it is larger in every dimension. And when you go to the Pro, that is even more so the case. And that was something that didn't really appeal to me. I've had bulky keys with all the keychains in the past. I don't want that, so I wanted to keep it small as possible. And the other part is I don't like throwing stuff away or stopping using stuff for an arbitrary reason. Yes, I have a lot of EDC gear, but I rotate through it. And this works just fine. This works just as well as the day that I got it. The battery life might be a little bit depleted, but I charge it regularly, so it doesn't matter. So why throw something new on my keys to get beaten up when this little guy is smaller, lighter, still works, and is already beaten up? And just to go over the quick change, so you can see the second generation is captive. The third generation, the Pro, still captive and updated to USB-C. So the convenience and performance benefits just weren't great enough to outweigh the smaller size and that I already have it. So that is that little module on its own. Next up, here we have a pry tool. This is the Brew Pry. I'll make sure to put information and all this stuff down in the description down below. So this is basically a bottle opener pry bar combination tool that is nicely acid washed, and it is made out of hardened 01 tool steel, so it can take some abuse, and I have used this to pry stuff as a screwdriver, open bottles occasionally, and I have this on its own little kind of lobster clip itself. So the swiveling point here makes it nice and easy to use if I have like my keys in my hand, or if I need to hand it off to somebody or just need it more delicately with a fine task. It makes it really easy to just remove this and use it. It also makes it nice and easy if for some reason I want to just take it off my keys. Maybe include it in something else. So that is the Brew Pry. And finally we have the knife. Now the knife is on the little attachment point you're probably familiar with from the years of phone charms that dominated the early cell phone market. So this is just looped around this central point here. The reason that I looped it up here and not down here was one, so that it didn't interfere with the O-ring like moving around for my car key. And secondly, when I have this up here and I have all the O-rings in the gate, it makes everything hang at a nice level. Now this is the Gerber Zip knife, I believe, and it's on this quick detachment method here, which makes it nice and easy to take off and use. And I use this mostly if I've forgotten a knife for some reason, or if I've picked something up from an Amazon locker and I want to get rid of the cardboard whilst there's like a public trash can there. Now, this little knife is very cheap, and I really love the concept of it. The execution of it is terrible. It is absolutely terrible, but I did go ahead and fix that problem. So if I flip this over, you can see, hey, this looks a little bit weird. This is meant to be a frame lock. So this little blade is meant to lock in place. However, the problem I was having is twofold. One, that makes this an illegal general carry knife in the UK. I would have to have a valid reason to carry it, which is a legal headache I did not want to risk. And secondly, most importantly in terms of its use, the lock would overextend and get stuck behind the other side of the blade. I managed to free this a couple times and then it just got stuck in place. At which point I said, well, I still like this and want to use it. To hell with that. And what I did was just take a metal file. I believe I actually used my Swiss tool to do this. And I just sawed the lock off, filed off the metal so I didn't have any sharp pieces. And now this is, in effect, a friction folder. There's still enough resistance that it's not bad to use, it's easy enough to open, and if you're opening something with it, like a box, there's going to be pressure in the opposite direction. This isn't going to close, this is a no risk of hurting me whatsoever, but it does give me a convenient way of carrying a knife with me. The quick deploy means that I can use it or hand it to somebody easily, but it also means that if I'm going somewhere where a knife would be a big no-no, I can just take it off and leave it at home. I'm a big fan of this. I like the whole Gerber green accent aesthetic. Green is one of my favorite colors, and I find it fits into my somewhat lightweight EDC tool keychain setup quite nicely. And this gives me basically the pillars of EDC tools. I can cut something, light something up, and I have a bit of a general prying, scraping, bottle opening kind of thing as well. Now the only thing not here is a pen. That's not really of concern to me, because if I'm going somewhere with my keychain, I'm probably going to be in the car, so I'll probably have my wallet, and a lot of the time I'm using a wallet that has a pen holder in it, or I'm carrying an EDC that has a pen included, like this organizer here, or I'm carrying a sesame knife that has a pen. You get it. I will most likely always have a pen with me regardless. I didn't feel the need to add one onto my keychain. But this is just my keychain. Has this given you any ideas? Do you have any suggestions for it? And what does your keychain look like? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you've made it this far and you've enjoyed that video, then please hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And if you're a fan and you would like to support the channel in other ways, then please consider subscribing to Patreon, which would help me guarantee more fresh gear coming through the channel and help me upgrade my phone so that I could then record higher quality videos. I know the image quality isn't the best and the sound does bug some people, but please don't feel pressured to, only if you like the videos and want to continue supporting. But hey, that's been all for me now. I've been Paul, and I hope you have a wonderful day.